Well, going over some of the old stuff in the strong box here, we find my article from my motorcycle accident when I was 19. This is amazing. It's even readable. Saturday, May 16th, 1959. The headline, "Flip over car marks crash. Cyclist misses injury at 30th in California. A 19-year-old motorcyclist escaped without apparent serious injury after a crash at 30th and California Street Saturday morning at 7:54 a.m. Thomas E. Laughlin of 123 South 32nd Avenue was treated at County Hospital for minor hurts and released. According to accident investigator Fred Stevens, young Laughlin was going north on 30th Street and struck broadside a southbound car making a left turn. The car was driven by Dean Thorson, 25. Young Laughlin was hurled over the hood of the Thorson car. Well, I can tell you, this is one of a couple times in my life I thought I was dead. And I was not speeding, which is hard to believe. But I was minding my own business, and I was going down to a job, and I was on my motorcycle, and I was going, I would say 25, 30 miles an hour on North 30th at the time, and I had a green light the whole way. The light was green, and it's up the top of the hill. I was coming up to the top of the hill, and the light was still green, and I saw this guy going to turn left in the left turn lane, and he had his signal on, and he was stopped. And so I had no concern at all, because he was waiting for me, I thought. Well, just as I began to enter the intersection, he gunned it and turned left very fast, turned in front of me, and my whole life flashed in front of me. They say your life does. I thought about everything in a split second about my 19 years of life, and I knew I was going to hit this guy and be dead. I just knew it. I didn't even have time to hit my brake. That's how fast he turned, and after I entered the intersection, it was just almost simultaneous. And so I hit his passenger door, which would have been on his right door, as he was turning left in front of me. And I flipped up over the car and landed on my back in the street.
Where'd your bike go?
The bike followed me and landed on top of me.
Oh my gosh.
And I could only think of the time I couldn't believe that I was still alive, first of all. Then I'm thinking, I just started to move my foot and see what was broken. I knew I had to break something. And somebody was yelling at me, Sonny, Sonny, don't move, don't move. I said, get that guy's license. Get that guy's license number.
Did he drive off?
No,
oh.
he parked over on the right-hand side after I hit him. But I thought he was trying to run away, and so, well, we called an ambulance, and I don't know how they did that, because there was no cell phones.
Right.
And they're on their way. Don't move, Sonny, don't move.
You might have been blacked out for 20 minutes.
Well, I could have been blacked out for a while. I tell you what, I was certainly dazed,
yeah.
And I had multiple strawberries all over my body because I skidded after falling on the concrete. I skidded,
yeah, you're moving.
And then that bike landed on me, and it was, you know, the tailpipe burnt my leg, but one of the handlebars stuck in my stomach, so they were worried that I had internal bleeding and damage. And then the ambulance picked me up, and they said, well, how do you feel, Sonny? I said, I'm okay. And they said, I'll tell you what, I don't understand how you didn't break anything.
Evel Knievel.
And I said, you know what, I don't either. Well, we're going to take you to the hospital, and we're going to take x-rays and make sure. But it looks like, you know, you're going to be okay.
His guardian angel, she's got so many black and blues in her.
Well, you know, there's an old sign or an old saying.
Yeah.
Don't ever drive faster than your guardian angel can fly. And I wasn't. I was driving so.
It's right there to catch you.
Now there's other times, of course, my guardian angel must have been tapping on my door. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. But-
She's
Keep
doing double
up.
duty with him.
But the one thing I want to tell you is that I do recall so vividly my life flashing.
Wow.
Because I was going to die. In my life, all the things that I did in my life were flashing. It was that dramatic. It was that I knew I was going to die. I couldn't stop it. I was going to hit this car, and there's no way you live.
Right, and you didn't have a
I
helmet.
had no helmet. In those days, there was no helmets.
Right.
And so I hit apparently his door just perfect, flew over the top without, I should have slammed into the top of the car with my body. But no, I went up over it.
I know, but just landing and then that motorcycle
Well,
landing on top of you.
I know that sounds awful, but it was not that awful. And oh yes, I was sore for a week, and black and blue, and lots of strawberries all over. But I got over that,
Yeah.
and
Love to tell.
but I lived to tell. But you know, that was one of the times in my life growing up that I absolutely thought I was going to die. There's a couple more.
And then you never got a motorcycle after that. Was that your motorcycle was done?
My motorcycle was done, but I did get another one after that.
Okay, so
When
when
your
did
kids
you
were
decide
little.
not to? I thought it was after that accident that you decided.
Here's
you
what
would
happened.
never.
I was only 19 when I had the accident. And yes, the motorcycle was damaged beyond repair. But after I got married and got into Toastmasters Club when I was in my late 20s, all my buddies in Toastmasters were going on a trip to Denver, a motorcycle camp out trip.
Okay.
And so they invited me, and of course I didn't have a motorcycle, so I went and bought one. And that was I had a Triumph. The accident was on an Indian, which was very popular in them days. Now they're making a comeback in these days. Indian is kind of a prestigious motorcycle. There are very few of them made.
Oh.
But that was an Indian. At that time, they were very plentiful. But then I got a Triumph, which is not that popular now, but it was then. And it was a twin, which means twin cylinder. And anyway, I went to Denver with the boys, and we went up in the mountains, and we camped out, and we fished up in those lakes up in the mountains in Denver, or just west of Denver. But anyway, and then I kept the motorcycle for a couple of years here at the house, and but I knew driving a motorcycle in the streets of Omaha was extremely dangerous, and I didn't do it that much. I really didn't. And then as my kids got older, my son Tommy wanted a motorcycle so bad, and I said, Tom, no way are you going to have a motorcycle. No way. He said, well, you had a couple of them, Dad. I said, I know, and that's why you're not going to have one. And I said, I'm going to make you a deal. I said, here's the deal. I want you to start reading the paper this spring and summer and watch and keep count of all the kids that have a motorcycle accident and are killed in Nebraska, particularly in Omaha, because there's several every year. And if I'm wrong about this, that at least 6 kids will die in Omaha, then I'll get you a motorcycle. I knew I was going to win this one. Well, at the end of that summer, 19 deaths in Nebraska and 7 killed in Omaha. And so I made my point every year. It's just the same thing. Every year, kids get killed. They're going too fast.
People don't see
And
them.
people don't see them. That is the key to the whole thing. And that guy turned in front of me. He did not know I was there. He didn't see me. He was
Right in front of them, yeah.
I was right in front of him. I thought he seen me because he didn't move. He had his left turn signal on. And then I entered the intersection. All of a sudden, he's there. And he said he never saw me. And that is the thing. A motorcycle is such a small item compared to a car.
Right.
People aren't looking for them. So my advice to whoever sees this video if you got to have a motorcycle, make sure you don't drive it on the streets
Of Omaha.
or on the highway. Just go and make it a dirt bike and go do the dirt thing and have all the fun in the
Wear
world.
a helmet.
Just drive it in your driveway.
Say that again, Mom.
Just drive it in your driveway.
Good advice. Thanks, guys.